Good afternoon here from the Nashville Super Speedway. I'm Scott Beard and I'm here with Shell, and here we're today to talk about Shell Rotella and the Shell Starship. Now the Shell Starship is an efficient semi-Class 8 truck that joined the Indycar NTT series this year to haul the Pennzoil Tech Inspection trailer. Now this truck isn't like an ordinary semi-truck. It runs on renewable natural gas, it's aerodynamic, it embraces concepts like lightweight materials to get you the best freight ton efficiency possible, and we're able to utilize that from track to track with Indycar this season, helping Indycar meet their sustainability goals. They have goals to reduce their emissions by 50% by 2030, and we've done that on the track starting in 2023 when we introduced renewable racing fuel that all of the Indy cars are going to be driving on today and have been since 2023. And then we're helping them off the track here with the Shell Starship 3.0. So taking back to 2018 at Shell with fuels and lubricants, we work with a lot of different people within the industry for both owner-operators and fleets. And we were kind of thinking to ourselves, what can we do to help make change now, make change today? So the whole ethos of the Starship started because we were saying, what's available today for technology that we can apply to the truck? And how can we demonstrate that to the industry? So we started in 2018 with a diesel engine, ended up modifying that and getting to the point where we were just shy of 11 miles per gallon and having a freight ton efficiency that was 2.5 times the standard Class 8 vehicle today on the road. So we were just trying to showcase to people how you can become more efficient today, what's available for technology, and that evolved into the Starship 3.0, which runs on renewable natural gas, but can also run on compressed natural gas and LNG. And it's powered by a Cummins X15N. And so this is the first 15-liter engine of its type for natural gas for semi-trucks. So we started with the prototype in 2023, and now we have the full functioning engine that you can buy today from Cummins. So in addition to the fuel that the truck takes, it's also embracing all different parts that make it more efficient. And one of the things that you'll notice right away is this carbon fiber custom front of the cab here. The whole concept and inspiration for the aerodynamics comes from things like the airline industry, comes from things like spaceships because of how rounded the slope is up the top here. So we put together this custom carbon fiber cab. It's got a rounded bumper. And then you'll notice here as you squat down, these are Bridgestone low rolling resistance tires. Now these tires are available today, and it's something that you can do to help get your truck more efficient on the road. So 40 to 50% of the energy used by a truck at highway speeds is overcoming tire friction. And so with these low rolling resistance tires, we're helping make improvements in that space. Going from the engine over to the powertrain, this is a Eaton Endurance transmission, and it is on a Mirator fuel light axle. And now this axle gets you a 2.5% fuel economy improvement because it is lighter than traditional axles.
Super singles too.
Yes. And so this truck too is on a 2021 Navistar 625 LT chassis. Inside, some of the things that you'll get: Shell Rotella full synthetic engine oil. So this is a natural gas engine oil, and we have natural gas engine oils available. Today there's a 1030. There's also things like T6, T5 in retail or from your local distributor. But once you run full synthetic lubricants, both the engine oil and the Spirax S6 GME 40 gearbox oil and Spirax S6 transmission oil, all those together with full synthetic technology are going to give you a fuel economy improvement. So now once you drop from a 1540 to a 1030 viscosity, you're going to get up to a 2% fuel economy improvement with Shell Rotella products. And you drop that further down to a 530, you're going to get a 3% fuel economy improvement. And what that means is if you have a fleet of trucks, that's thousands you're saving per year with your fuel. And you're also going to be doing things like consuming less fuel because of those fuel economy improvements. Also same with the natural gas. It's cheaper than diesel. We have pipelines across the US where this is available. You might not find renewable natural gas everywhere, but you can find things like compressed natural gas and LNG that the engine also takes. So the range that we have with these fuel tanks is 900 miles. And so we don't quite push it that far, and we're filling up to make sure that we're going to each stop correctly with the Indycar series, but it does have a 900-mile range. So the Shell Starship 3.0 is hauling the Pennzoil Tech inspection trailer, and fully loaded together with the truck and the trailer, 73,000 pounds. The truck by itself is 17,000 pounds. We're riding pretty close to the permissible gross weight for the vehicle. So now that we kind of talked about the truck and the setup, would you guys like to come inside and check it out?
Yes!
Awesome. All right, let's do it.
The name Starship, where did that come from?
Yeah, so really inspired, for the front of this that has that sloping hood and that rounded bumper, really looks like airplanes and spaceships. So that's kind of where we got some of that inspiration with to make this as aerodynamic as we possibly could.
It's enormous in here. It's like 8 feet tall.
So this folds out into a bed. So it is a sleeper. It's got a nice TV back here. There's curtains that come down. One thing that I didn't mention outside, that's another thing that you can make improvements, is that we have a mirror eye camera system. And so we've replaced the mirrors with cameras. It does take a little bit getting used to, but what we've been told by our drivers is that it cuts down on the glare when driving at night, so you don't get the headlights from the cars and trucks. And so it makes it a little bit safer and a little easier to drive, especially when it's getting darker out.
I know you've talked about the components of this or things that can be implemented into other vehicles, but can a Starship like this be purchased?
So it would be hard to do it one-to-one because of how custom the carbon fiber is up front. But there's a lot of those things that you can do that make those improvements. And everything on this truck is readily available technology. The Cummins X15N engine, the Eaton Endurant transmission. This uses predictive adaptive cruise control, the mirror eye camera system, the low rolling tires. That's something that's a little bit easier to implement and a little bit cheaper than some of these other components. Running full synthetic lubricants that are readily available today, either for your diesel or natural gas powered trucks. And this is the 3.0, and we've done this a few times before with diesel engines. And so very similar kind of components, that are just kind of interchangeable with those different trucks, just dropped in a different engine, essentially.
Could put another bed up here.
Well, it was funny, when we did the press conference with Indycar at qualifying weekend before the Indy 500, we had J. Douglas Bowles, the president of Indycar and the president of Indianapolis Motor Speedway there, who was giving a sustainability update. And one of the things that he mentioned and he was really thrilled about was how nice it is inside the truck. So I'm really happy I was able to take you guys inside to look at it, because even though the outside's got that really great wrap and look, the inside of it is also extremely nice, which is really important for the drivers and making sure that they're comfortable traveling the country with this truck.
It's definitely like an old school but futuristic airplane in here. It's amazing. I definitely see the inspiration from the airline industry. This bench, this bed is beautiful. So kudos to the design team that thought this up, because it's like a work of art in here.
So Ryan Mantheory is a lead engineer behind the Starship and has been since the project started in 2018. And they've done a tremendous job with product technology to put this together. And we work with mechanical shop WLA out of North Carolina that have brought this to life. So one of the really cool, my involvement with the truck was the wrap. So it was really fun to design it. And we didn't have time to get the trailer wrapped because of how active it is within operations. We had made the cab to match the trailer. And so what we did was we used the Shell Expression 2.0 radiating pectin. We had that blend from yellow with kind of the ripples to orange to red, and then along the bottom matched that with the trailer with the black that runs along the side here. And it was a great moment to put Indycar right on the side of the truck.
So the trailer that's currently behind it is not the one that's always behind it, right?
That is correct.
The one that was built to be behind it, does it get to go on display places and go around and be showcased, I assume?
Yeah, we had a really cool event that we did at the Barber Motor Speedway last fall, and we invited different journalists from trade publications to come in, and they actually got to drive the truck if they had a CDL. So there's some really cool videos online of them driving the truck and giving it some full reviews. We brought it to other trade shows too in the past from the different Starship series like ACT Expo and other different types of major events. It gets quite the entourage too when you drive this on the open road, because people are driving next to it. They're trying to take a look at it. They're looking behind it. Like, We get all kinds of questions at fuel stops like, what is this? Is this electric? And we're like, no, we're fueling natural gas right now. It's this is available, and this is something that's here because everybody kind of says, well, this is the future. And yes, that's true because trucks are embracing more things like aerodynamics and lightweighting. We think that trucks are going to continue to get more and more lighter as they go along with the OEMs because of things like fuel efficiency and to try to make the fleets have the best total cost of ownership as they possibly can. And it does look different and it is futuristic, but everything is here today, and that we don't have to wait. You can get the natural gas engine that's 15 liters now. And there's enough proof points, and the Starship is just one of them, that kind of helps demonstrate how this is something that is available today as an alternative fuel source. And then you got things like the Meritor fuel light axle that's lighter, the low rolling resistance tires, full synthetic lubricants. There's all kinds of things that you can do that help improve your freight ton efficiency. Now, the truck itself, through our demonstration runs, has proved to transport 3 times as much freight per kilogram of CO2 emitted. And also it is 2.5 times more efficient for freight ton efficiency than the standard average semi-truck. And so that was through our demonstration run in California, which we've done with 800 miles across California. A lot of people kind of ask about the miles per gallon for that. So we achieved 9 miles per gallon diesel gallon equivalent on that run. And that's really impressive because natural gas trucks run 12 to 20% hotter than diesel trucks. Through the efficiencies that we had through the aerodynamics and the lightweighting and some of those components, we were able to kind of make up for some of that where the engine kind of runs hotter. But if you're doing things like running on renewable natural gas, it is significantly less emissions than diesel. And that's going to come from either a manure type feedstock, or it can come from things like crops, other different types of vegetables that kind of go into there. So it depends on what that's made out of. At Shell, we have several farms that are producing renewable natural gas. And so it may not be everywhere, but you can find it. And if you can't, engine runs on compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas as well. So I kind of talked a little bit about freight ton efficiency, and we really like to use that instead of talking about strictly, miles per gallon. And the reason why is because miles per gallon doesn't take the weight of the truck into the calculation. So with the freight ton efficiency, it is the fuel consumed divided by the distance traveled multiplied by the weight of the truck. And that's going to give you a freight ton efficiency number. And that takes into consideration that whole weight of the truck. And so we use that for comparison because of a fully loaded Pennzoil Tech Inspection trailer. Whereas if you have a trailer and you're only half full, your miles per gallon is going to be increased because it's going to be a lighter load that you're carrying. And so that's kind of the component that we like to compare it to when talking about the efficiency of the truck. And everything that we've done is to improve the freight ton efficiency. So I already mentioned the things like the aerodynamics, the lightweighting, the tank to wheel efficiency, which is the engine, and then the lifeblood, which is the lubricants. And then it's also how the drivers drive the truck, because their driving styles and how fast you're going also make a big difference between how efficient the trucks are.
How do you access the engine?
It's not easy. So you do have to take off, some of these carbon fiber panels.
From outside.
Yes, yeah. With Indycar, and we've done over 6,000 miles. And so we've gone now from a demonstration run that we did in California to 2023 to actually putting this to work with Indycar. We're really proud of how it's done and how it's helped Indycar throughout the series. It's something that outside of the demonstration, we can now say we put this truck to work. So we're here at the Nashville Race Music City Grand Prix, and we're giving away some fun prizes from Shell Rotella. We're telling people about the Shell Starship truck. They can experience it with some VR headsets that takes them through the truck driving down the road, and you can learn more about all the different components. And we even have some fun AR tablets here today.
So you get to drive it by sitting in the chairs there and see what it's like?
Essentially, you're almost in the driver's seat. Not quite, but you get to move along with it down the road. Do you want to check it out?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Let's see what's going on.
You're going to get an all-around bird's eye view, but you can also see it from inside of the cab. So feel free, it's a 360 opportunity. Look left, right, up, down, even behind you as the video is progressing. and you'll learn all about how Shell is driving innovation.
Wow.
Chance to get a look down at the controls yet? Are you inside the vehicle?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's just showing me around outside.
Okay.
But I can see the engine. It's like X-ray vision too.
That X15N.
Whoa! I'm inside. Wow, it's cozy in here.
Yeah, now you can see all the controls, the control panel on the front.
Wow. Oh, now I'm outside again. Solar panels on the roof of the trailer to help it run. Wow.
Yeah, so you don't have to keep that engine idle at night. It can be nice and quiet. You need the AC, the microwave, anything that a driver would need at night. They're not driving.
That was
All
really,
right,
really
we
cool.
got you out.
And I'm so
Welcome back
sweaty.
to the real world.
Yeah, wow.
And now you know all about how Shell is driving innovation.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really cool technology too, to actually let people get to experience it.
Well,
So-
exactly, especially because it's in the paddock area. So now we're getting people a first-person point of view.
Right.
So it's nice here.
And I mean, not many people have ever probably
Used
got
the
to use
Oculus.
something like that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too. So is this like a team effort between Indycar and Cummins and
It
Shell?
was kind of a relationship that we have through Penske Entertainment and Penske Operations, which has the fleet of trucks that goes from track to track. And so because of our long-standing relationship with Penske, we were saying, you know, what else could we do? And we said, oh, we have the Shell Starship, and we've done some demonstration runs, but we haven't put it to work. We haven't gotten into that commercial use. And so now we can say that, you know, not only did we do the demonstration runs out in California, that was 800 miles, we've done over 6,000 miles now today with Indycar. And it's just a great proof point to the industry that you can get a natural gas engine for your truck. You can do things like fill it up with renewable fuel or compressed natural gas. We have a really big natural gas pipeline here in the US. And so it's something that we see in buses and some, you know, waste disposal trucks. But now we're getting this for semi trucks on the road too. So, you know, it's a great to be part of IndyCar and joining with them to be innovative, to drive forward with sustainability. And then, you know, we're able to kind of bridge that together and help them for track to track with their operations.
And we're talking specifically about the relationship to IndyCar right now, but this is something that you mentioned someone could just go out and buy this engine.
The engines we talked about, the Cummins X15N natural gas engine. So if we got the, you know, the heart of the engine and the transmission, the lifeblood is the lubricants that's in there. And you can run full synthetic and you can get 2% better fuel economy if you're switching from a 1540 to a 10W30 with a product like Shell Rotella T4 1030, Shell Rotella T5, or even Shell Rotella T6. And you can also run the full synthetic transmission fluid with Shell Spirax. In the Shell Starship is Shell Spirax S6 GME40. And that gets you a better fuel economy than compared to the GME50. So you can kind of combine this together. And then eventually, depending on how many trucks are in your fleet, you can save thousands on fuel by upgrading these lubricants. And then when you drop the viscosity, it also comes with Shell, all the additives that are going to protect your engine too. So you don't have to worry about things like, you know, is it going to provide enough wear protection? Because that's all built into the technology. We have hundreds of scientists from Shanghai, China, to Hamburg, Germany, to Houston, Texas, that all work together to develop what we have here with a great engine oil and Shell Rotella that's powering the Shell Starship.